is so important for that reason, because it is how you make money at the end of the day. Your website is what converts to dollars back.
Welcome to Duo On Air, where we help you get seen, remembered, and wildly obsessed over by your audience. We're your hosts, Abby
and Courtney, a pair of ex-agency besties who ditched the cubicles, the Minneapolis skyways, and the corporate jargon for work that matters, with people who inspire us every day. Today, we're a women-powered marketing agency serving brands worldwide, bringing those big agency results without the corporate price tag.
Around here, it's all about what actually grows your business: branding, SEO, websites, and navigating the real-life ups and downs of building a dream while raising tiny humans. We're moms, wives, and best friend business partners in the trenches with you, making the hard stuff feel easy and a whole lot more fun.
So pour a fresh cup, get comfy, because you're exactly where you need to be.
Let's duo this.
Welcome back to the Duo On Air podcast. This is episode number 157, and today we're going to talk about something that every small business owner and entrepreneur should be doing regularly. So let's talk about website working days and why we love them and why you need them.
And why we, love them.
Love them.
And we just started doing them, actually. So This is like a new thing for us.
They are fun. I think we've always kind of done them, but we officially call them website working days now. And we block off a whole day and we try not to do everything. Like before, we'd be like, oh, let's just talk about this on that day. Let's talk about this. Let's do this. Let's talk about this. And all of a sudden, it's not a dedicated day to work on our website. And it's just a whole bunch of other shit.
Yeah. We're only working on our website on these days.
Yes. So your website is your virtual storefront. So it's the first impression that your audience is going to have of your brand, and making sure that that website is up to date and reflective of your current brand and your voice and your offerings and all the things is so important for that reason, because it is how you make money at the end of the day. Your website is what converts to dollars back in your pocket.
Right. And I think we all, there's stats out there galore, but like we know that people have the attention span of a goldfish. And if you don't capture somebody's attention on your website, or if your website's loading really slow, or it's confusing, or it doesn't look up to date, things look off from like, it's not consistent with your Instagram or anything like that. If you have any of that's happening on your website, you're going to lose those people. Like you're going to lose audience, you're going to lose potential new customers, because they're going to land on your website and make a quick judgment on whether or not they want to stay there and interact with your brand, or if they're going to leave and go to your competitor.
Yeah. And we talk all the time about how your website isn't a one and done project.
No.
Like it is something that will continue to grow with you. So,
it should never be one and done.
No,
ever.
It shouldn't. Like there are always new pages, new opportunities. And I always say this in my SEO audits with my clients too, is that when we do competitive research and keyword research, we are always uncovering new keywords, new freebies, new quizzes, new offerings, a different way to break out your services, or a new portfolio, or something that's either driven from competitive research or SEO keywords people are searching for. And I never want to like present an SEO audit and be like, okay, now we need to add 15 pages to your website. Go pay for a web designer. Goodbye. Have fun. Like that's not how we do it, but we like to do the research so that you know how to grow, because your website is a growth product of your business that is going to be able to grow with you. And if you know what people are searching for and what offerings to give them and build your website as you go, then you can. So there's always, like, I would say, I don't know, once a week, it maybe less, but we're probably thinking of, oh, we should add that to our website. And then we just drop it into our list and we save that for the days that we're having our website working days.
Yes, exactly. So website maintenance matters. And we're going to kind of go back to that virtual storefront example. So imagine it's a physical store. So you're walking into this physical store that hasn't been updated in years. The decor is outdated. Some of the products are mislabeled. The store hours posted on the door are incorrect. You are in there having a bad experience and you're not enjoying yourself. Would you go back to that business? Probably not. Would you refer that business? Probably not. Even if we think about like the Targets of the world. I assume the majority of us have been in a Target and shop there regularly. If you're anything
Or a
like
Walmart
Abby,
if
or
you're south.
yeah, exactly. Any like retail store like that. They're always changing too. They're changing their layouts every once in a while, so it's a fresh new layout, which sometimes can piss you off because you knew the store, but then they changed it. So that's not usually the problem with websites, but that's just me going on a tangent. But like the cute little section up front at Target, the dollar spot, like that's constantly changing and it's seasonal and they're adding new products and they're refreshing new sections. Like even actual stores are doing this to keep you coming back, to keep your attention, to keep you as a customer. So making sure that we're doing that same type of treatment with our website is going to keep people coming back, is going to make people want to stay on our page and explore our page even more.
Yeah. So how you might be wondering how often you need to do this. Before we even get into the like what and how of website working days, because we're going to break it down for you of like what we do on these days, how we keep track of things and all of that. But you might be wondering how often you need to do this. And the answer is kind of, it depends. I think it depends on how much growth you need on your website. So you might need to do it more often. If you have a new website and you're building it as you go, then maybe you need to set aside 1 day a month and you need to sit down and work on it. Honestly, like if we could set aside 1 day a month, we would love it.
I would love it.
We love these days. Like they're so fun. So I think it should be something that excites you too. Mm-hmm. Like it should be something
seem like work, like annoying, gross work. It should be fun and exciting.
It's your biz. So yeah, you should feel excited for it. And if you don't, that could be a sign that maybe you need a new website, one that can like work and grow with you so that you can be excited about these updates.
Yes.
So I would say at a base, quarterly is probably our recommendation. Just to take a peek at overall maintenance and freshness, and we'll give you some ideas of what some of these things are that you need to check. But quarterly at the very, very least 2 times a year.
Yes, very least.
Yeah. And now you might be wondering, I wonder when the last time I updated my website was. And if you are curious, you can go check. So we'll put some better details in the show notes for you so that you can actually go check. But you would look at the source code of your website. So anytime you're in a browser, there's going to be a little view button in your top toolbar. You'll view source code and then you'll just search for last modified or updated, and there'll be a date next to it in your code. And that will tell you the date that you last updated your website. So it's super simple. I know that sounds kind of techie and crazy, but I promise you it's not. Just follow the steps in there and then you'll know. And it could be eye-opening because you could be like, oh, I think I just updated my website. And then you look and you're like, wow, that was 8 months ago. No idea. So take a peek at that if you have no idea, and then take notes with us as we go. Like see what some of the things are that pop up. And we don't have anything fancy for this. We used to track in Asana. I think now we kind of have a Google Doc going, but the key is just to have a single place that you are continuing to add your updates and your to-dos to, so that when you have these working days scheduled, you have something to reference back to.
Yes. So we are going to take you through a handful of things that we prioritize during our website working days to hopefully give you a list of things that you can start prioritizing as well. And that first one is keeping your content fresh. So we always talk about how fresh content is obviously good for SEO purposes. If you're continually updating your site with this fresh content, you have more options to become found on search engines, and these search engines prioritize this fresh content. So having that fresh content is really important for not only getting people to your site, but also engaging with your audience on things that are current and relevant, or things that they are actually searching for that they need answers, services, or products to. So making sure that you're updating that stuff, checking blogs, adding fresh blogs, updating old blogs that might be performing really well. So this would be like checking your analytics, seeing which of those blogs are performing really well, and can you update it? Can you make it fresh? Can you make it more relevant? So checking things like that. checking your resources, so including fresh resources or email sign-up options, different tools that you might recommend. A page that we have on our website that we absolutely love is our, what do we call it? Marketing resources. Our favorite, our faves. So if you go to our site and hit our hamburger menu, you'll see our faves. And that page is all dedicated to tools that we recommend or resources that we recommend. And that page is a page that could use a lot of updating, like constantly, depending on the tools that we're using. Or, you know, if they have a promo and we want to recommend that tool, we can like shout out that they're having a promo. Or it's a good idea to like look into affiliates. If you're using a lot of these tools and you want to have an affiliate program with them, that's something that you can look into too. So those marketing resources pages or our favorite recommendation tools pages are really good pages to have and can continually bring you some of that fresh content that you can update.
Yeah, that was what we spent a lot of time doing on our last website working day, was updating that with making sure all of our affiliate links were good, making sure all the tools we recommended were still tools that we recommend, just really making it a page that is a go-to resource always. So you're not going to get a broken link, you're not going to get a poor experience, and you're going to see things that are relevant to what we recommend right now. And
we had a few tools or resources that we even created that weren't reflective of that page until this last time that we got together and we're like, hey, we created that tool. That tool makes sense for this page. Let's add it to this page. So you could be creating tools for years and forget to update it and add it to your website on, you know, a page that would be really good for making recommendations for like your audience and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. So we already mentioned a little bit updating outdated content, incorrect information. So this kind of goes hand in hand with keeping your content fresh, like just looking at what are you linking out to on your core pages? Are you referencing a portfolio feature? Are you referencing a blog? Is that the most up-to-date piece that you want to reference, or do you need to link to something else on your website? And just kind of checking your best performing content to see if you need additional links there. So that is definitely just overall content, just kind of like scrolling through all the pages on your website, make sure all the things that you're linking out to are actually going to relevant, timely pieces of content.
Yeah. We actually, I had an inquiry person call me out once and it wasn't bad. It was a very minor thing that we had like a bullet listed in our branding services that wasn't in our investment guide. So we have two places that people can see our services if they inquire with us. So you can see our services on our webpage, but if you inquire with us about like being serious and wanting to move forward with us, we send you an investment guide that has more detail, pricing, timeline, all of that stuff. And we had a bullet on our services page that wasn't reflected in our investment guide. And she had mentioned something and she was like, oh, well, that page doesn't have that, but your investment guide does. And I was like, well, shoot. I was like, thank you. Yeah. So it's checking things like that too. Like if you have something that's like kind of a duplicate of another that maybe not everybody can see, but like an inquiry, like a serious lead could see if you sent them to that link, just double checking that all of that information copies over correctly.
Yeah.
Spotlighting new services. So if you've added a new service or a product, you want to make sure to update that on your webpage. Or again, if a service or a product changed, if the pricing changed or if the details of that service changed, making sure to highlight those and make that relevant. These really give us a chance to create these dedicated pages that let your offerings shine. So like for a while, I think we just had one offerings page, didn't we? Before we had a website working day or something. And then we decided, these pages actually deserve their own, or these services deserve their own pages and their own love. So we broke out our services pages. So each service had its own page. Yeah. So some people have pages that's like all of their services, but if you can create enough content around each service could have its entirely own page.
Yeah. That's typically my number one SEO recommendation, because then you can optimize each page from an SEO perspective for just that particular service. Because there are a lot of times that there are some clients that need both. They do branding and they do SEO all at the same time. But the majority of people are just searching for branding or just searching for SEO. So we can better optimize individually to those individuals rather than having to do it together, which could be less enticing to click through from a Google page for that reason. So that's one of our biggest recommendations, is breaking out your service pages or your product categories more and things like that to give those pages a chance to shine. And then adding new pages is obviously a big part of this day and can be like a whole day, adding one page, like depending on what it is. which is why we had mentioned that it truly does depend on how much work your website needs to decide if you need to have one a month, one a quarter, whatever that may be.
Mm-hmm.
So adding whole new pages, if you're not sure what pages you might need to add, like this is something where as you browse other people's websites or as people ask you questions, you'll start to see trends of new pages you can add. So it should happen naturally as you go about your business. But there are also like some really fun pages that we have loved to add over time. And things like clever 404 pages or opt-in pages, blog category pages. And we did an episode on this a while back, episode number 102. We'll include it in the show notes. And it was all about 5 website pages you didn't know you needed for SEO. And this is like a fan favorite episode. So go check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
They're fun pages
They
too.
are fun.
They're like not boring pages to build out. They're actually really fun. So the next thing is fixing broken links. We briefly touched on this a little bit, but if you have links that run to dead ends, this is very frustrating for users and it could cost you a booking or a sale because they're frustrated with the user experience. They're being sent to a 404 or a link doesn't work. So that again comes kind of back to that brand authority too. If you have things that aren't linking correctly in your website, then people might not trust you because your website is malfunctioning because these links don't work because they're old or they're broken or whatever it might be. Don't they have a broken links checker that you would
literally
suggest?
what it's called, broken link
Yes,
check.
yes. So if you're not sure, check out that tool because then you can help or you can figure out where you've got broken links within your site and then you can digest all of that, fix it, and get those links working again.
Well, the cool thing too is that this tool tells you where the broken link is coming from and it's not just on your website. So you can uncover broken links coming from other people's websites or coming from like Pinterest. Like say you have a broken Pinterest pin and you can either set up a redirect or remove the pin. So that is something that it's a really cool tool and it's completely free. So we'll make sure to include that in the show notes too.
Even better. So the other one is visual updates, obviously. So your branding. When it comes to your website, you want to make sure that it's reflecting your brand as it is today. So what does that mean? Refreshing outdated visuals. Are there photos on your website from 5 years ago? If so, it's probably time for an upgrade. Whether that means brand photos of yourself or stock photos that you might be using, you want to make sure that they're all relevant, that they're all up to date, that they look like you don't want to be using a headshot from 5 years ago because you could change drastically in 5 years. If you do your hair like I do my hair changes, I think, from photo shoot to photo shoot. I've got bangs or I've got dark hair or I've got blonde hair, so I'm constantly changing. But you want to make sure that those are all up to date. If you have a brand refresh and you are like Abby and I and you go all out with your brand colors in your photos, you're going to need to update those because it's going to be a clear disconnect that it doesn't match your brand refresh. So making sure when you have things like that to update those images so it's reflective of your brand as your brand is today.
And then make sure not just visuals like that, but actual like graphic elements, branding elements outside of just your logo. So do you have fun submarks, patterns, icons? What can you add to give your website like a really fun pop and incorporate more of your brand elements? Especially when you pay for branding, you get so much amazing little assets to use and like play around with your brand. So really bringing that to life. So if you go to our website, you'll notice some fun things like our peace sign GIF is on the homepage, just like bouncing back and forth. We have movement in our footer at the bottom, just different small things like that just kind of stand out and help like bring your brand to life. So if you don't have any of that, that can be a really easy ad to kind of just peek at and say like, how can I zhuzh up my website with some fun branding elements or content? Or maybe that's what you work on next, is you work on actually building out your brand a little bit more. So you do have some of that fun playfulness you can add to your website.
That is my favorite part about building out the website is adding those fun little touches.
Absolutely.
And then
it's my favorite part of watching it.
Yes. And then something that's small, if you have like a little extra time too, is just including some movement. So Abby just said that is just like adding movement to some of these pieces. So you're not only just adding these submarks or these illustrations or these icons or patterns, but you're making them move a little bit. So again, sometimes that takes like a tutorial or two to learn how to do that, but there's a lot of great tutorials out there on how to do that. We work specifically in Show It, and they make it pretty easy to add stuff like that to your website. So just find places that you can add a little bit of that movement, whether it's, submark spinning, scrolling banners, video backgrounds. It's just really nice to have some of that because it keeps people engaged and wanting to learn more, just because you have that little subtle movement and it keeps that exciting.
Yeah, and use your communities too. So not like super related to the website working days, but just the other day I was trying to like figure out a better workflow for our Dubsado inquiry emails. And I got like completely stuck at one part and I was like, I don't know how to do this. I keep Googling, I keep looking at the help forums and I can't find anything. And I just went to the Dubsado Facebook group and asked a question and someone literally sent me a freebie that showed me exactly how to do what I needed to do. And it was like, wow, thank you. So I think we forget that we have community to lean on. So if you have a list and like this is a part of your list and you want to add a scrolling marquee, that's what it's called, right?
Yep.
Thank you. I'm proud of
girl.
myself. Anyways, you want to add a scrolling marquee of like the words scrolling across your page. You don't know how to do it within your specific platform. Is there a Facebook group? Is there a community? Is there a circle community? Like where are they living? And search within there or ask the question and see who can help you. Because when you set aside these days to dedicate to work on your business, you're not going to put those little things off because you don't have time. Because that's literally what the day is set aside for.
Yes, you have time.
You
that
have
day.
Permission to spend extra time doing things and learn new things. And I think we forget sometimes when we're in the thick of our business to put on our learning hats and actually try something new. If we have the time, which the whole point of this is you do have the time because we set aside the day to do it.
I was talking to Abby earlier today. There's things that I want to do on our website, but I don't know quite how to do them. I need those tutorials, but I've got those notes set aside for when we do have one of these days. That's when I can tap into that and explore how to do that. So we have another episode 116, if you go back to that one, on how to make your homepage a scroll stopper. So this is just like different things and elements that you can add. And we talked specifically about the homepage in that in that podcast episode, but it really takes it to that next level on how you can make your homepage really exciting and wanting people to continue to scroll. So if you tuned into that, you can learn a little bit more there. And then the last thing is just triple check, quadruple check, like check mobile. Like don't forget mobile. It is so easy to design. And I'm speaking from a designer perspective. It is so much easier for me to design desktop because typically you can have you can have more fun in desktop and you have a bigger space to work with, a bigger canvas essentially. But we know that people are using their mobile devices typically way more than they're using desktop. There's some astronomical, you threw out a stat in an episode once and I was like, my gosh.
I mean, it depends too. Like look at your Google Analytics. I would say even if I look at our Google Analytics, I see the majority of people come from desktop. Okay, great. That's where a lot of our audience is because a lot of our audience are entrepreneurs, small businesses
searching
who
for
are
services.
Working on a desktop. Like they are likely not on their phone. However, depending on who your audience is, they could be on their phone a lot and there are crossover for sure. But where mobile really comes into play is with SEO because Google only indexes mobile.
That's right. Yeah.
Only mobile. So your website, your desktop version of all of your pages is not getting indexed on Google. It's only mobile. So if your mobile is a jumbled mess, you're not going to show up on Google. Mobile is so important from an SEO perspective.
Yeah. And we kind of forget about that when we're designing and optimizing for our websites, but mobile is very, very important. So just making sure that everything, transfers from desktop to mobile correctly. It looks good. It feels good. We work in Show It, and sometimes the preview button in Show It shows that everything looks perfect in mobile too. But I urge you to actually check on your phone. Like send yourself the preview link to your phone, open it up on your phone, because sometimes there's things where like things are crashing into each other and it's not reflective in your actual Show It canvas, which is kind of frustrating. But you need to double check it on your actual mobile device to make sure that like things aren't running into each other or bleeding off the page.
Yeah, it's likely platform, like my guess. So Court and I both have Pixels. So my guess is that Google is slightly different than an iPhone.
Probably.
And so something might look good in an iPhone, but not in a Pixel. And so it's definitely something where if you have one version and your partner has another, or you have a friend or a family member who has the green text box, God forbid. We love the green text box. So, but anyways, have other people check it for you too, just so you can see the difference between an iPhone and an Android, because I have a feeling that those will show up a little bit differently as well.
Yes, exactly.
So let's start making your working days, your website working days, a habit, because obviously, as we just went through all of those, I'm sure you're like creating this insane to-do list in your head, or maybe you're feeling overwhelmed, or you're just like,
there's too much to update. I can't do
there's
it.
too much to update, which we feel that way. Like every time we have a working day, we are like, oh, wow, like we accomplished a lot, but there's also still a lot to do.
Yeah. And sometimes we're in the thick of it and we realize like, oh my gosh, like this isn't correct. We have to update that. Like you actually uncover things too, because you're in your site and you're like, oh shoot, we have to update this. Or like, that's a little incorrect, or that image is outdated. Crap. How did we miss that?
Yeah.
You know?
And it's just so good to have that dedicated time, that being able to use that part of your creative brain to actually think through it. So step number 1, in order for you to make this a habit, you need to schedule these days. So schedule maybe a couple, so that you actually have the time blocked off. Choose a day where you have nothing else to do. There is no other
calls,
deadlines.
No meetings.
No calls, nothing. Like absolutely nothing.
Yes.
And then choose where you can go to be most productive. So if we're in our house, we're not going to be productive. And yes, I do love working on big screens. However, I know productivity wise, it cannot happen. So we also have found that if we work at a place that doesn't have food and then we have to transfer, we're also less productive.
You lose steam.
Because you go to another spot and then you like take a break. It's harder to get back into it. So we found that we need to go to a place that is like very open, gives us like
very inspiring.
Yeah, inspiring place. They have food, they have coffee, they have everything we need throughout the day. So we can stay at one place and not feel like trapped at any place, but we can just like work and be productive. And so we went to a hotel, my friends.
A hotel.
It was awesome.
And like didn't have a hotel room. That's not.
we went to the lobby of a fancy hotel by us, and they had a coffee shop, which is just like Caribou, but whatever, it was fine. And then they had the lobby area was like a bar, lunch area, restaurant, kind of
loungy.
Yeah, and it turned into that at lunchtime, and there was a big long table, lots of windows.
Lots of plugins, very key for
lots
coordinating.
of plugins. Yeah, and I feel like that was the best spot yet.
It was. Well, we've only had.
Well, I would say it's the best spot just in general for any working meeting that we've done. You know?
Oh, any working meeting. Absolutely. We actually decided that that's where we're going to do our duo annual meeting this year.
Yes, because they have a spa that is to die for.
So you'll learn more about it come October.
But anyways, check out, like, don't miss hotels. Like, check out hotels by you. See if there's a good, like, you can work in lobbies and pay, like, they're not going to turn you away. You're buying coffee. You're giving the restaurant money. Like,
right. And it wasn't packed or busy. We weren't, it's not like we were taking away from anybody or anything. Was it the valet up front? We were walking in and he's like, "Hey ladies, how can I help you today?" And we're like, "We're just here to work." And he was just like, "Well, that doesn't sound fun." He was just being playful, like, "You guys should be here to play," or whatever. But it was pretty cute.
It was. But yeah, it was. So yeah, don't miss opportunities to peek at a hotel in area and check it out.
Go somewhere that's going to inspire you.
Like, I don't know, there's some really cool libraries too. So like that kind of stuff can be fun. Actually. Yeah.
So going into it with a checklist. So creating some sort of checklist, we kind of briefly touched on this before, but making sure that you have one dedicated spot that has anything that you might need to work on. So this might include updating your bio, swapping out copy, adding new pages, testing your links, and any of those things that we mentioned prior. This is where you want all of that stuff to live, because you want to make sure that you can go into this checklist, make sure it's an ongoing doc that can live forever, and you're checking things off as you go. And then we typically add things to this as we're checking things off. So we're checking things off, but we're also realizing, oh man, next time we have to do this, or like we also have to do this, but is that a priority? Maybe not. We can put that in a few few ones down or whatever. So making sure that you have this list, because otherwise, if you don't have any sort of a checklist or items that you want to do or get done, you're going to sit there and probably just push pixels around and not get very far.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for real. So then also consider delegating or outsourcing. So if you're listening to us and you're super overwhelmed and you just have zero desire to touch your website, then hire someone to help you. So there are plenty of web designers out there who will do VIP days or VIP weeks and allow you just to give them your list of to-dos and update your website. So even if it's not a whole website overhaul, but it's like, I know I need all of these things done on my website, there are a lot of people that do these VIP weeks, and that could be really fun just to get all of your stuff done. There are definitely pages that we consider too, like we know it's a whole big sales page or it's a whole new template and we just truly don't have the time and we need to focus on these micro updates and like specifics to drive conversion, but we need someone to get the template done for us so that we can make more progress. And those are times where, yeah, we can do it, but time is more important for us and we need to get it done. So, there are plenty of times where we have outsourced our own like work and we just prioritize like, okay, what's going to save us the most time so that we can focus on what we need to focus on.
Or if you get started on a whole new page and like, let's say you get the bulk of it there, or you get like these canvases kind of roughly laid out and you're like, okay, you know, we're working on something right now that's a little bit of top secret, which we'll let you know soon when it's ready. But we started it a couple of website working days ago, a couple months ago. And it's something that I have to finish and I haven't gotten around to it yet just because life and work and client stuff and all that. But I need to make it a priority again, whether it's a website working day or just finding extra hours. But if you start a page and you're so excited about it and you want to get it launched, but you didn't get it over the finish line, consider just outsourcing the rest of that page to somebody that might do it for you. Yeah. Because again, time is valuable and sometimes we don't have that kind of time. So just options there too. If you start something and you can't quite finish it, ask your community if there's anybody that would be interested or could help you out.
Yeah, for sure. And then what can you expect from all of this? Like, what's the payoff for you taking aside a day, a month, or a day, a quarter, or whatever?
Because I could see people being like, I don't have time for that. Or like, my website works just fine as it is. Like, why would I spend a whole day each quarter to update my website?
Yeah. Well, one, I say don't poo-poo it before you try it. So that would be my step number one. Okay, try it.
Spoken like a true mom.
I know, right? Don't just try it first. But there are plenty of reasons why this pays off. And I think until you set aside a day to do it, you don't quite realize how much needs to be updated until you are in it and you're like, whoa. There was literally a page we were updating. So we have this Duo Gives Back program.
Oh my gosh.
And we love this program, and we're just finishing up the 2 clients that won this one. I don't know what I call it, one, but anyways, you apply. It's a lot of like nonprofit mission driven businesses that we support, and they get a free service of ours, so branding or SEO. And it's just like our way to give back and really support these communities who are making a difference in our world. So this application is ongoing. We choose 2 clients a year. And so you can apply for it right now. So we went to look at the page. And when we launched this page last time, it was immediately after a podcast episode. So we were going in updating the page because the application process was kind of wonky and it wasn't working well. So we wanted to change the process. So we jumped in. I'm reading the copy and I'm like, this literally doesn't make sense. Because we talk about the podcast episode without actually linking the podcast episode that we're talking about.
And we talk about it as if you know exactly what we're talking about. Like you should know what it meant. Yeah.
Yeah, it made no sense.
Abby looked at me and she's like, what were we thinking? And I was like, I don't know. I think it was one of those instances where we're like, we just have to get it out there. And we built it so dumb quick and we didn't set aside like a working day for it. And we were just like, okay, get it out there. We did it to launch
the podcast episode, to launch a program we were super excited about. And we wanted to do, like, we just wanted it out there. And yeah, it was one of those things where it wasn't even on our list of things to update. No. And we were linking it from something else and so I went to look at the page and it was like, whoa. Okay.
We were like, oh no, we need to update this now.
So let's just give you, just to give you an idea of like what we did that day, because we did a lot.
We did a lot. And you kept saying, like, gosh, it feels like we didn't do a lot. But I walked out and I was like, wow, I feel like we did a lot. And like you said, there's still a lot more to do.
Yeah. But anyways, this day that we spent together, we started with our marketing resources page, so our faves, and we updated that. We went through that whole page, top to bottom, made sure all of the links, all of the resources, all of the tools were all things that we'd still recommend today.
We added a couple tools.
Yep, we added some tools. We updated some affiliate links, made sure that we were signed up for the right affiliate links for certain things. We checked into new affiliate links if there's a tool that we really love that we didn't like check yet to see. So that's even like right there, just doing that process gives you a new chance to make money that you might not have thought of before. So we updated all of that. We also changed the process for group coaching. So in that marketing resources, we have a section that talks about our SEO on Tap course, and it talks about our SEO membership, and then it talks about SEO group coaching. Well, we completely changed the format of group coaching for web designers and copywriters. So we updated that sales page, we updated our membership directory, and then we updated SEO on Tap, like all to speak to one another and to cohesively drive to each other. So that was, we updated all of that, marketing resources, and updated our Duo Gives Back page and process. So new copy, adding a new photography, making sure all the links and the just really taking a step back and looking like, does this journey make sense for someone new coming to our website?
And don't, like, we're saying all of this, remember that we're two people. So this might seem like, oh my gosh, there's no way in hell I could do this all. But like, if you're a solopreneur, don't let this sound like you're like, absolutely not, can't do it, because there's two of us. So I'm able to be in Showit physically making these changes. Abby's able to be in ChatGPT or finding these links or looking up these affiliate codes. So
I'm writing copy, doing SEO research, like I'm doing competitive research or signing up for affiliates. Like I'm doing all of that stuff while Court's fixing design. So it definitely, we are a duo. So it's a little bit different for us, and you'll have to transition your mindset too. If it's easier for you to do copy all at one time, then do all the copy.
Exactly.
And then outsource the design.
Or vice versa.
So that's definitely something to think about of like how you want to spend these days too. And pick a partner, like go to a co-working space, find a local business partner, go work with your mom. I don't know, like go somewhere, just go somewhere, be with people, like do something to have some collaborativeness and like some moments for you to like take a break and get up and walk around and just like have fun with it. So
it should be fun and not overwhelming.
Yes. So anyways, back to results. That was a tangent.
I don't know how that happened.
I don't either. But anyways, back to the results. Basically, I was saying, give it a try.
Yes, there you go. Don't poo-poo on it.
Don't poo-poo on it. So back to that. Number one, improved user experience. So people are going to stay on your website if it's up to date and user-friendly. So like we just said, that whole working day, that whole example that we just gave you, improved user experience throughout the website because
big time, especially for the Duo Gives Back.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, for Duo Gives Back, it gave a huge, it definitely fixed the experience on that one. But we had, prior to that, we had been getting Instagram DMs and messages from people within our community, students who were like, what is SEO group coaching? What is this program? And I couldn't articulate it in a way that made sense without like sending voice messages to all of these people. And
that's a lot of time and energy and work.
Yeah, it's a lot. And so we really just needed to update our website to better speak to that and sell the content without us having to do it individually to each person.
And now when somebody inquires, like let's say we just have somebody come through our DMs or something, we're able to send them directly to that link and be like, here, this explains it a little bit more, but let us know if you have additional questions, versus Abby having to explain in each voice message the same thing over and over again. Now they actually have a place that they can go learn more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So that brings us to increased trust and brand authority, which kind of like leans on that too. You need to make sure that you have accurate, current information that builds the credibility with your audience. Again, if you have misinformation or if your brand looks inconsistent from one place to the next, or you have pages that, like our application for a minute, that was so confusing and we just assumed people knew things. That's really confusing for people, and they are going to lose trust in you, and your brand authority is going to tank because you need to sound trustworthy. You need to have a strong brand presence, be very clear in what you're communicating. And if you don't have that, you're going to potentially lose new leads.
Mm-hmm. Conversion rates obviously is the whole goal of this. Like, we are going to increase our conversion rates when we are focused on a website that speaks to the right audience and communicates well with them along the whole journey of them actually inquiring or purchasing. So making sure you have clear call to actions and a really easy process for your clients and customers is going to drive to better conversion rates.
Which brings us to our last one, which I shouldn't even be talking about, but better SEO performance. Obviously, if you have fresh content, you have that brand authority, you have very clear direction and how you want people to navigate your site. If you're using the right keywords and talking about the right things, then you're going to have better SEO performance, and that you're going to drive that traffic. You're going to hopefully get those conversions, and your website's just going to perform. It's going to be a healthy website. It's going to perform better for you and push your business forward.
Yeah. And one thing that I'm doing too on these meetings is checking to see if these pages do get traffic, and if they do get traffic from Google, what keywords are people typing in? And you can access all of that through Google Search Console, which is a completely free tool, which will help you understand how people are coming to that page in the first place and amplifying it. So what else can you include that will speak to that person? So that can be really beneficial too, as you're looking at updating these pages and just kind of getting a grasp on how it's working overall.
So we hope that with some of these tips and tricks on how to get started for Website Working Days was really refreshing to you and exciting. We hope that we've sold it as a fun, exciting thing, because it really is. It might seem a little overwhelming and you're like, what do we say, quarterly? That's really not that much. So if you just choose one day out of each quarter to set aside to do this, and you get out of your house, you have that checklist, you just start ticking away at it, we promise you it's gonna feel more fun than it is work. We have really enjoyed them. We honestly wish we could do them every week.
Yeah.
Like, I wish we could.
Yeah. I mean, block them off, and too, like, that gives you less issues with trying to squeeze it in, because you should block it off in ahead of time, and you should work the rest of your deadlines and projects and to-dos around it so that it's not stressful. And that's, I think, the biggest key to why we've been able to do 2 of these this year so far. I guess 2 in the last couple months. Yeah. Because we've really blocked the day off and made sure we're busy, and we hold ourselves accountable to keeping the day. So.
Yes. So if you do it, let us know, because we really love them, and we hope that you do too.
Enjoy.
It's time for a refill. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Duo on Air. If you loved hanging out with us today, here are 3 quick ways to support the show. 1, subscribe so you never miss a new episode. 2, share this episode with a biz bestie and tag us on Instagram at duo.collective. And 3, leave a review, because we love hearing from you. Finally, keep sharing your episode ideas. We love creating content for you. Head over to duocollective.com to catch up on all the latest episodes, brand and website makeovers, SEO tips, and so much more. See you there. Let's duo this thing called business together.